Let me start again. Hi. I hope this was okay. I can be dramatic sometimes. Hi, guys. How are you doing? Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to a book read challenge with Dale Carnegie and how to win friends and influence people. Oh my god, I just said that in one breath. Okay. Nope jokes. We are in the seventh day. Wow, I need to give you guys a wonderful round of applause. Kudos, kudos, kudos. You are 7 days in of reading a book. Wow, wonderful. That's great. That's amazing. It's an achievement. It's an achievement. Can you imagine? You started this year, trying to push yourself to reading a book, and you're on a 7 day streak. This is the seventh day. Wow. I'm so excited. I'm so glad we're doing this, Uh, just like, the popular saying goes like, little drops of water makes, a mighty ocean. So day by day, we are fulfilling this. So, sometimes whenever we try to make resolutions and we be like, oh, um, I want to read a book. I want to go, I want to buy a book. I want to read it. And at the end of the day, we end up not doing it. But when we are doing it together, when you have someone, you find someone who have the same interest with you, and you're accountable to each other, we're able to watch each other. That's why this challenge is here. Okay, so you're able to pick that book that you've been wanting to read, and you're able to stay consistent and disciplined with it. Okay, and you're able to, accomplish the task. So it's really nice. It's really great. That's why I love this challenge, and I'm sure you're enjoying it too. So wherever you are, you need to be, you need to be proud of yourself because you deserve it. You deserve it. Seventh day. Seventh day. Oh, you're doing a good job. Okay, so let's get to it. So far we've learned a lot from this book. Like I told you, if you want to be a master at dealing with people, handling people, winning people's hearts, being in their good graces, you need to read this book. I don't know how much I can be able to promote this book, but you need to read this book, guys. It will enlighten you in ways you never could have imagined. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Why am I being so dramatic? Okay, 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 okay. Be serious, NK. Be serious. Be serious. Okay. We've learned a lot from this book, actually. I have learned a lot, and I'm sure you have as well. Okay, so share the comments in the comment section. Share your views, share what you've learned. Let's learn together. Let's continue to grow together. Okay, so what I've learned so far from this, like one of my major, the major points that actually sticks with me, okay, is something about it's should I say, one of it is the smile part. Okay, the lesson about smiling. Yeah, the lesson about smiling. It's something that I've actually been doing over time, but I never really understood why I smile, I never really understood why I smile. Like, whenever I see someone, I want to be all smiley, and I sometimes people make me feel like, aren't you doing too much? Like, aren't you smiling too much? That was too much, And because sometimes people give me that look whenever I smile, like, hi, they'll be like, oh my god. So, when they give you that look, you begin to wonder, like, am I doing too much? And when I studied this, this the chapter in this book about, you know learning to smile, and conversing with people and smiling with them and all those things, it kind of opened my eye to how relevant it is. Like, in as much as some might give you the the weird look and be like, aren't you doing too much, or who is this again, something like that. So, um you shouldn't stop, okay, just because of that few percentage. Okay, you actually I'm sure your smile has blessed a lot, even though they don't come out to say it. I'm sure your smile, your jovial personality, and the way you approach people with such kindness and pleasantness has helped a lot Okay, so do not be shaken by, the small, proportion of people who actually do not understand what it means. Yeah, that's just it. They do not understand what it means. Okay, so yeah, smile. The lesson about smile really stuck with me. Another part that actually sticks with me is the thing about names, because that challenged me a lot. Okay, so if you want to be a master at dealing with people, you need to be able to, know their names. You need to be able to master the art of knowing names, the names of those around you, be they small, be they big, be they high, be they low. Okay, no matter the background, no matter where you meet them, get to know their names. Get to know their names. You knowing the name of a person actually, makes them feel important. It makes them feel special. So get to know the names of the people around you, in your workplace, in your school, in your church, in your peer group, in your clubs. Okay, book reading club, or any club. Get to know the names of those that are around you, in your family, your relatives, your relations. Get to know their names. It's so, so important, guys. Super, super important if you want to be able to make people like you. Okay, yeah. Um, yeah, so it's a great social skill, a great social skill. Okay, so now I'm going to go quiet for some time. Those are just some of the things I can be able to tell you. And from the first part, the part one of the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, the first part talks about, the three negative C's: criticism, condemnation, and complaints. Guys, you need to stay away from those three negative C's. Okay, they make your relationships or interactions with people futile. Okay, they make it futile. Okay, so if you want to be able to have a strong bond with people, okay, in as much as they would show you their weaknesses, they would portray their flaws. Okay, there should be positive ways in expressing how you feel about their flaws, about their wrongdoings. There should be positive ways. Okay, so whenever you're trying to even make people do what you want, it shouldn't be attached with punishments, or condemning words or threats. Okay, so you have to be careful with those three negative, behavioral patterns. That's complaint, condemnation, and criticism. Okay, then we have appreciation. According to Dale Carnegie, giving sincere and honest appreciation, it matters a lot. Okay, yeah, yeah. So let's just get into it. I'm gonna go off and enjoy my time, and I'm sure you're going to be enjoying your time reading the chapter as well. Okay, so take a book. If you don't have this book, you do not need to have this book. You might have a book that you've been wanting to read for a while, for ages. Okay, so you can pick it and just dedicate one, about less than 1 hour to just reading a chapter and educating your mind. Okay, it's a very good investment, a great investment, and it yields dividends. Even though you might not see it at first, but it does yield dividends. So I'm going off mic. Yeah, so see you soon. Yay! I'm back. Okay, this was another amazing and interesting read. Hmm. You want to know? Okay, so it's about listening, being a good and attentive listener. So it's all about being a good conversationalist. Okay, if you want to, um, yeah, if you want to be a good is it conversationalist? Another good aspect of book reading is that it gets to improve your vocabulary. You understand? So I'm learning new words in English, which is actually great for me because I love to I love to speak well, and I love hearing people who speak well or reading people who speak well. Okay, so yeah, it's something that I'm really going on. Yeah, so it's actually been good, like learning new words or phrases. Yeah. So, if you aspire to be a good conversationalist, be an attentive listener. You have to be an attentive listener if you want to be a good conversationalist. Okay? Being a good conversationalist, a conversationalist means when you're having a one-to-one discussion with someone or with a group of people, if you want to be able to, you know, yeah, be in their good graces, in their good sides, you have to learn to listen. Okay, so many a times when we're conversing with people or with someone, we want to, we want people to know much about us. Okay, you feel tempted to talk about you. You feel tempted to talk about you want to talk about you, what's going on with you, your interests, your likes, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel bad. You just want to talk about you. Just some I'm sure I'm sure you've conversed with people like that. They just want to keep on talking about them. Okay, and before you know it, when even when you get the opportunity to talk about you, or when you want to answer a question, before you know it, they're interrupting you again, and like that. So, and that's not a good conversationalist. A good conversationalist listens. You ask me a question, and you allow me to answer, and talk about it. You listen, and even as I answer the question, you pick up something out of it, and you be like, oh wow, tell me more about that, something like that. And then the person continues again, and then you say, yes, I also feel that way, and you talk about you, and then the person. So it's like that, like the flow is sweet and interactive and interesting. Okay, so that's a good conversationalist. Okay, the two parties have to learn to listen. You have to be a good and attentive listener. Okay, yeah. And another thing, yeah, so the Carnegie says to be interesting, you have to be interested. Okay, so some people, there's, I'm sure you've met some people with whom, when you're speaking with them, you feel at peace. You feel at the end of the conversation, you feel relieved. That tension with which you came in has left, has disappeared, has vanished into thin air, and you feel good about your discussion with the person. There's a connection. You understand? So yeah, so, and there's some people whom you feel the opposite of these things. You'll be like, this person talks too much. So yeah, so if you want to be an interesting personality, if you want to be an interesting person to people, you have to be interested in them. You have to be interested in listening to them, being an attentive listener. So ask questions about them. Ask questions about what would interest them. For instance, you're meeting a basketballer, someone who loves basketball, who plays basketball and coaches basketball. You understand? And you find out that, yeah, this person kind of love what he or she does. You bring in questions that has to do with that. You be like, wow, yeah, Yeah, I'm a basketballer. Yes. Oh, I love kids. Oh, you love kids. Wow. Do you coach them as well? Yes, I do. Yeah, yeah, I coach them on these days, on that days. So you flow and you become interested, genuinely interested in what that person loves to do, or what that person enjoys doing. So encourage people. You To be a good conversationalist, you have to encourage people to talk about themselves and their accomplishments. That's super super important. Okay. Yeah, so if you want to be a king in the conversation is a calm, attentive. A king or a queen in the conversation is a calm and attentive listener, a good listener. Okay, so uh, it becomes chaotic when there are two, bad conversationalists. This one is wanting to talk about themselves, this one is wanting to talk about, and the whole conversation is not going sweet and melodious. So yeah, so that's what this chapter is all about. Carnegie says people who talk only about themselves think only of themselves. Okay, so if there are two people who are doing that, it makes the conversation, you disastrous. Okay, so yeah, so we should learn to listen attentively, learn to listen, master the art of listening attentively, be interested. So if you've been following us from the beginning of this book, yeah, that's what it's all about. you know if you want to be if you want to be able to influence people, you have to be interested in them. You have to be interested in them. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so I guess that's all now. So I think for me, why many, like, when you come across people who actually talk a lot about themselves, it's not just about them, wanting you to know about them. Sometimes it could just be that feeling of impotence. They've never come across someone who can sit to them and listen to them. So you doing that, okay, it makes them feel important. If some, they can just come and just start ranting about their boring job, or they're ranting about their marriage, or their relationship, or a child and the childhood trauma, or you know they just want to rant, and whenever people come to you to do that, all of a sudden they're just pouring out their heart to you, telling you their life story, how they feel, how people are making them feel, or how situations are being bad for them, how life is going for them. They're just ranting and ranting and ranting. It's not because they want you to know about that, about their life. Okay, it could be that they just want someone to listen to them. They've been looking for someone whom they can pour out their heart to all their lives. And when they find you, you see everything just flowing, and all you can do at the end of the day is to just say, wow, 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 wow. Thank you for sharing that with me, and just make them feel safe, in their conversation with you. So whenever people tend to come out like that, talking about themselves like that, pouring their hearts to you like that, yeah, it's a way, it's like a coping mechanism for them, and you should be able to indulge them, let them feel good about themselves. And next time when they come, you see they feel safe with you. Yeah, so that's just it. That's just it. Okay, so thank you guys for another interesting time, another beautiful and amazing time. I'm sure it was worth it for you, because it was for me. It super super was for me. So thank you so much. I'll see you next time. I mean tomorrow, of course, tomorrow, because this should be our daily routine. It should be our daily routine. So yeah, I can't wait for us to finish this book. It's going to be I wish someone would give me an award. No, I'll give myself an award. I'll give myself an award. Maybe I'll treat myself to an ice cream, big bowl of ice cream. Okay, yes. So be a good listener. Listen to someone today. Yeah, be a good listener. Encourage people to talk about themselves when they're around you. Okay. Yeah, and that's how to be a good conversationalist. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Okay. Do not forget to purchase this book if you haven't. And if you can't right now, pick a book with us. Pick a book with us. Join our book reading club. Pick a book with us, and during this time, you can be able to read a book and share with us. And also, I'd love us to begin to talk about our next book, because very soon we will be done with this. So recommend a book. Recommend a book. Our next book. Recommend it so we can begin to process how to get it, how to purchase it. Yeah, please recommend our next book. Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.